there, lovely stitchers, I hope you're all well. Welcome to the next part of our Through the Golden Gate series, and this week we're going to be doing a little bit of gold work, just a tiny bit, and I'm going to show you how to do this lovely Angelica, which I have quite a bit of in my garden. The bees absolutely love it. I'll show you a little video of it next, and this little excerpt from the Canterbury Tales by Chaucer. So enjoy, and I'll see you again. In my little garden I have Angelica, and you can see it's absolutely full of bees and insects, dozens of them. They love it. So this is what I'm going to do in the little book, the little stitch book. I'm just going to take a couple of photographs of it, but I wanted to show you. This is not a very tall one. Hold on. I'm just getting to grips with this new gimbal I've got. But I've got another really tall one over there, down by the thread shed. Again, absolutely covered in beautiful bees. So yeah, I'll take a couple of photos and I'll be back. So what will we need for our little Angelica page? I look like I've got an awful lot going on here, don't I? Which, yes, I have. So first up, just grab your green bits that you have. I've been and found some fabrics, some cloths, fabrics, a little bit of organza, some linen. These are silk ribbon, silk sari ribbon. And because Angelica's quite acid green, they're going to lend themselves quite well to that colour scheme. Also got a little bit of variegated pearl cotton. May or may not use that, but if you haven't got some of the things, this will be perfect for it. I'm going to be doing a little bit of gold work, so I've got some lime check, bright check, which is, let's just open it up. This is, I've had this for a while. Let me see if I've got something to open it up with. I have. Ooh, sharp. I ought to have opened it before, but there we go. And this one. I do both. Save me the plate back in. So this is colour pearl and it's bright check. Well, so this is colour lime. And this is like a springy. If you've not done any gold work before, please don't go out buying these. These are what I've had, because I've done quite a bit of gold work, and this is like a little spring. Okay, can you see? Springs back, and it's got a hollow core that you can thread through. So I'll be using some of that, but you can also use beads. I've got a huge selection of beads, so I'll be using some beads as well. Coloured pearl, and pearl is like, or pearl, depending on what, is the same kind of thing, but a lot finer. And again, it's got a core, hollow core. Then you can use thread, just ordinary machine thread, to couch this down. So I will be using these just because I've got them. If you haven't got that, something along the lines of a sheep's thread will be just as easy to use. Might use some of that as well. Or where's my I've got things like bits of rayon and I'm just looking here. This has got like a gold fleck in it. These are Steph Francis threads that I've had for years and years and years, and she still has them on her website, so they're not ever so expensive. So, but obviously, just try and use what you've got. That said, I'm not opposed to enabling you to go out and buy something. You know, I'm a great believer in treating myself if I want to. I've just unravelled that. Let's put that back. Let me think. So, threads to couch your pearl down, if that's what you're going to use. If you've never done this before and it's something that you want to have a go at, it's not frightening, honestly, it's not. So I've got a selection of silk threads that I'm going to use in various different colours. But you will, if you're using a metallic thread or a matching ordinary machine cotton, that's absolutely fine as well. But what I will suggest is some beeswax, natural beeswax. I do have beeswax in my on my website in the shop as well. It just, what it does is it coats your thread and stops it from catching on the gold work. So it just makes life a little bit easier. I mentioned beads. I've got lots and lots of beads. Probably want some tweezers, a pair of scissors. Now I've got some GOLDWORK scissors, and these are serrated. I don't think you'll be able to see. They're like got a tiny little serration on them for cutting the metal. What else do we need? I mean, I've got a mallow or a laying tool as well, just in case. Selection of needles. You'll want fine-eyed needles. I will be using a chenille number 26. And beading needles. You might want some beading thread, depending. You could use the silks. Just depends what you've got. Okay, so that's my kind of little also disappearing pen of some of a description. So that's my little list of what we will need. So what am I going to do? Let's just clear the decks a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my Angelica, but I want to add a little verse behind it first. So got page 8. Now I am going to write mine and then embroider over the top. And I'm going to use, let me think, which one was I going to use? Let me feel. I was going to use one of these, but I can't think which one. Because I've just thrown it all back in now, haven't I? That's a bit too fine. I'll be here forever. Probably that one. That one. Going to go with the darker one, just so it stands out behind my work. You don't have to do this stage. You could also use little ink stamps if you've got them, or I've also got a video on how to print onto fabric, which you could do as well. But I'm going to do mine in thread. And my passage that because I'm still in May, is a Chaucer from Canterbury Tales, and it's "And May had painted with her soft showers a garden full of leaves and flowers." So that is what I'm going to write. I'm just thinking, I'm doing it in this pen just so if I go wrong, I can get rid of it. And don't worry about and about it being equal size. May. Just basic had, and May had painted. You probably can't see what I'm doing. With showers. A garden full. I apologise if you can't see what I'm doing. Of leaves and flowers. Will I get flowers in there? Can always move it up a bit. Flowers, and then I'll put Chaucer. I did have a date, but I don't know what I've done with that. Canterbury Tales. Okay, so I am going to embroider that, and I find the easiest way to embroider words is I will find a fine needle. That's I used to use a beading needle, but I find I can't see the eyes very well, so this is just a 26, size 26 chenille. And as I always say, I use a chenille because the eyes are big and they're sharp. The point is out to prove a point, very sharp. Okay. And I'm going to do stem stitch, and it doesn't matter where you start, but I usually go backwards. Use my hands. I will just do tiny little stitches to go round curves, because you don't want them to look like calculator letters. Okay, so tiny stitches to go around the curve, and they can get a little bit bigger as you go up the straight. And I always think it's nice if it's in your own handwriting. Because we haven't all got perfect handwriting. Well, I certainly haven't. And then things that are kind of personal, you can look back and, like, hopefully my children will look back and think, oh, that's Mum's handwriting. So I'm just going to go down the back of that. just because I don't want to have a loose thread. It's rained here. It's been absolutely throwing it down, but we have really needed it. Even in my back garden, I've noticed that things aren't quite growing as they ought. We're never happy, are we, with the weather? But yes, you know, it's been much needed. And my new moon garden has gobbled up the water. Loved it. Okay, so that's a D. I'm not going to make you watch every stitch on this, otherwise we will be here for an extremely long time. Okay, so I'll come back. What am I doing here? Oh yes, all right. By the way, if you want to do back stitch and not, or simple running stitch and not stem stitch, I don't know what I've done here. I've confused myself. Some kind of a funny stitch. What have I done? Don't know. Done like a back stitch. I've got no idea. Hey ho. Anyway, I will, like I say, I started there, but I will go away and I'll stitch. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'll stitch these words and I'll come back and we'll do the rest. Okay, I've finished sewing my little passage from Canterbury Tales and I'm going to do some gold work for the stems. So I'm going to use this acid lime green pearl, and I'm just going to lay that down and give myself an idea of how long it wants to be. We're going up to about there. Let's snip that, and then I'll stitch that down, pop those in there. Okay, I'm just looking for a needle. There, I shall use, this is size 26 chenille. Shall I zoom you in a bit? Yeah. And I'm going to use a very fine silk thread to hide it. You can, as I've said, you can use ordinary sewing thread, or you might want to use a metallic thread. It's entirely up to you. The one thing I will say is you need a little bit of beeswax on whatever it is you're stitching using, because these scissors aren't very sharp. Let me get some different scissors. They're rubbish. It's better. I don't use these ones because they've got a serrated edge and they're just for this gold work. Okay. I didn't put any wax on. Of course I didn't. The reason you want to put beeswax on is just so it doesn't, the metal doesn't disintegrate your wax and doesn't get snagged doesn't disintegrate your thread and get snagged on the metal. So it just gives it a bit of a coat. Okay. I'll pop a knot in that end. Ideally, I'd like this in a hoop or a frame, but if I do that, I can't. I find it difficult with the camera. Okay, so I'm just going to hold it down, and I'm coming up through the fabric, through the cloth, and I'm going to go over as close to the end as I can. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I pull all the way, and it will hide itself in your coil, because as I explained, it is like a hollow coil and it will come through. So we're going to go back up. It's just like you're just couching it down, literally couching it down. Okay, so pull, doesn't want to go. There we are. It's gone through, and I'm just going to do that all the way up. Close to the wire as you can, the pearl. And I'm just following my main stem. Try and make sure that your gaps are quite at the same distance. Oh, what's happened there? I know I'm going to cover over some of my lettering, but that's my whole point, is to just have it as a background. Ooh, doesn't want to come through that. I bent it. Oh well, not to worry. Just be careful. Bent it not. Oh dear me. Oh well. Never mind. It's been a while since I've done any gold work. I think when I hit a slubby bit, it doesn't like it. This is antique linen. It's got all the nice slubby bits on it. Okay. Try and make sure it's directly across and not at an angle. That's how I ended up bending that. Ooh. So I'm going to just do to the end, wherever you are, probably to there, of this one, and then I'm going to do another one to meet this, and I'll show you that. So I'm going to drop another one here just to make this stem a little bit thicker. And I'm just going to put it right up close. Sure. And I'm coming up to there, I think. There we go. It is quite fragile, so just because you don't want to stretch it out and bend it and all those kind of things, just be careful with it. I will say I got this. This came from Golden Hind, and they do have a website if you're interested. But it's some that I've had a while. I think I got it when I went to one of the Stitch festivals somewhere. Goodness knows. Oops. Just try and make sure that that's pulled in. If it's only sitting on top, it will. There we go. I've pulled it through. If it's only sitting on top of your, it will slide about. So now I've pulled it through the coil. It's. I'm just gonna. When you're putting them up together, you want to make sure you're getting the same. Coming up where you left. That way next to the one the stitch you did on the previous. It's much easier if you have it in a hoop. And also you can do two together. I don't. Here we go. Thank you, my ring on the desk. Just leave you out of the way. So I'm just going to stitch that up to there. It's hooked itself onto that. Oh, I'll get that off when I get further up. Okay. And I'm just going to keep on going. And I'll come back out. And what I'll do is I'll do the main stems. And then I'll come back because it's going to take me a while. And I can pop it in the frame just while I'm off camera. Okay. I've completed that. Full disclosure, I did use this metallic thread in the end because I just couldn't get that silk thread to sit through the pearl pool. So anyway, that's I went with that in the end. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use some of this because I'm going to do the seed heads. But I don't want them to be really, really prominent because I still want to be able to see my lettering through it. So I'm just going to cut out some little circles of this organza. It's like a little green. And they don't have to be perfect. Just making it look a little bit like clouds. I'm assuming you will struggle to see this. Okay. It's just a little gauzy, angelic, as in Angelica. thing I'm going for, kind of look I'm going for. Right, let me cut some circles out. I'm listening to people mowing the grass, the lawns or the grass or whatever. We have what we call no mow May here in the UK, and it is the 1st of June. And here lots of lawnmowers going on a Sunday morning. Don't mind how big these are. They can be big, they can be small, they can be whatever. And they don't have to be perfect, as I said. I'm just giving it that kind of look of a glow, if you like. One over there. Make that a bit smaller. Otherwise, I'll put it down there and make a smaller one. Sorry if you can't see. But I'm sure you get the idea of what I'm doing. Another couple there. Oops. Bonk. Just have to do a tiny one. Perfect. It's off. I'll get rid of this, otherwise it'll be sticking to absolutely everything. And you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch these down and take them off, and I'll stitch them down. But I will do it with beads and French knots and things like that. And I'm not going to go too crazy with them. But I did find my little beading purse. Sorry, I was like wondering what I was going to say next. Right, beading needles. I always use a beading needle because I know then that they go through. And I use a size 10. And they are the finest little thing you can see. And this is my little lid with a bit of felt in. And I'll just pop some beads in. So what am I doing here? I've got a little mixture, so just put a few different ones in and pop them on as they come. Put the lid on, otherwise they'll be gone. Scattered across the room. I do love beads. Oh, right, hold on. I did have some pearly ones I saw. They might be a bit big. Yeah, they're too big. But I think All right. Reggie barking. I can hear him. So let's just take these bits off so they don't float around all over the place. And I will lose them, of course. I'll start with one or two. Oh, beading thread. I do advise, I love a bit of beading thread because it's flat and it threads up through your needle. It's easy peasy, she said. Just give it a snip because it's through. Can't see what I'm doing. Famous last words, easy peasy, and then it doesn't. Yeah, it's like a flat thread. I can't explain it. But it is great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a stitch in there, put you over there, up through, bead on, and back. And you see. Don't make your stitch too small, otherwise your bead won't lay down properly on your work. Right? And I'm literally going to just pop a few beads, scatter them around. Just going to do an extra stitch, so just in case if your thread comes loose, the whole thing won't unravel. But I am going to do some French knots. I'm just going to do some beads and then French knots, and then I'll shoot, and then I'll go away and do the rest. Oh, sticking myself. Can you see what I'm doing? Bead there. Let's have you. Just give it another stitch. Okay, so I've got a few beads on, and as always, you can do as many as you want. I tend to do too many, probably, but I'm just going to finish it there for now and park that. And I'm going to do some French knots. The only thing I will say about this thread is it is nylon, so just be aware. So, righty, so that's too dark. So I'm going to go with a bit of that and a bit of that. Possibly some of that. I'm just going to mix it up. Thread my needle. These are all silk threads. that I've had for absolutely donkey's years. Just move you in. Oops. So I am literally just going to scatter some French knots all over these. I'm just going to do two wraps for seeing how. Might do 2 wraps, 3 wraps, just to give it a different depth. One, 2, 3. That one was a bit loopy. Don't mind though. I could go on forever with French knots. I love them. Find some lighter, some creamy colour as well, just to make it a bit more frothy. I don't know yet. We'll see. See what it looks like. But I'm keeping going. Okay. You see? So this, I actually thought I don't like this dark green, and hence why I've decided that I've put the gauze on the organza just to dumb it down a little bit, because I just felt like it was quite bright and in your face, and I thought, I'm not sure about that one. But it is quite nice. One, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to change colour a bit more. Acidy green. This one, quite fine, this is. If you've got finer thread, you just do another wrap of it. Don't do too many though. That becomes like a completely different stitch altogether. So probably 3 wraps for this. I'm just wondering if I need to do some like little stalks. Maybe. Let's have a quick look and just see. Just to make sure that we can see that they are a seed head. Yeah. Just to give it. So I'm just doing some straight stitches, because I think it just needs the giving it the idea that it is a seed head rather than just a load of beads and French knots. Hang on. There we go. Do a French knot or two. Also going with the no plan as always. When I'm on here and I have to speak, when I'm on here and I speak, I'm speaking. I also find it really kind of mindful that I'm going through things and talking about it or things. It's, for instance, I watched something or read something about, and a person was saying about when does sewing or anything with cloth become art? When do they class it as art? Well, I got quite fed up with her, actually, because what she said was, unless it's got a story, it's not art. I'm not sure I agree with that. In fact, I wholeheartedly don't agree with that. Creating something beautiful and artistic, why does it have to have a story for it to be classed as art? That was in their opinion, of course. And as an ex-teacher, I always did strive to ensure that the children created their art. It didn't have to come from within as a story or have a background to it. It just, it just evolved organically. So I was a little bit, I'm not sure I agree with that. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I mean, don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Do you know what I'm going to do as well? Just off the, I've just spotted that bright check. We're going on to a different subject, aren't I? And I'm wondering, should I, and I will, put some on? Because it'll give it a little bit of a bling. So with bright check, let me just grab a bit. Oh, that's got a knot in it. Try and undo that. It's like a spring, a bigger spring. And it's tubular. I think I've already explained this. So where are the scissors? There. The desk's becoming a little bit of a... I'm going to cut a couple of coils off. I've just put my finger over the end, so I don't want it to go shooting across the room. Oh, completely missed that. I've got one there as well. I've got something on these scissors that doesn't want to cut it. Okay, so I'm just cut a couple. Odd number. Oh, okay. And I'm going to stitch them on. And of course, someone is ringing me. I'll ring them back in a minute. I'll put through. So you want to thread your needle through the middle of your bright check. Just put that on there. Okay. And then lay it down. Let's see if you can see what I'm doing. So I've threaded my needle through the middle of that. And I'm going to lay it down in the direction I want it to go and then go back down. Okay. And I'll put a few of those in. I'll do some French knots in between. 2. This is a little bit thicker thread, so I'm only going to do 2 wraps. More of the bright check. Lay it down, pull it all the way down. Ooh. That's lay it in the way you want it to go. It didn't like this thread. Another couple of French knots. You don't have to go as mad as I do, by the way. I just can't help myself. Another one. All the way down. And I feel like I'm almost done on this one. My thread's twisting up. Let's just untwist. Hold it up. Put another one in over there. I feel like this may be it. Just put another one in there. And it does give it a little bit of bling, even with the beads. It looks like a faceted bead. Right. That is it. You see, not the best, but I'm literally just going to do that with all of these, and then I'll come back and I'll show you the end product, if you like. So I'll be back in 2 sheets of a lamb's tail. So that is finished. I actually put a bit more on than I really needed to, I think, especially here. But, you know, if you've been here a while, you'll understand me. I can't. More is more. So I do hope you've enjoyed that little video and give it a go. And of course, if you have enjoyed it, please do give us the thumbs up. And if you're new here and you've not subscribed yet, please do subscribe. It always helps. And I will see you again soon in the next video. So happy stitching, everyone, and see you again soon.